Hello, everyone. In this video, I'm going to discuss the second learning objective of this chapter, selling securities to the public, the basic procedure. So this discussion will essentially concentrate mainly on the issue of equity capital and paying a particular attention to the process of a firm going public. So we will continue this discussion in the next video too, when I will be talking about initial public offering. There are many rules and regulations surrounding the process of selling securities. For example, the Corporations Act 1989 is the origin of federal government regulations for all new security issues in Australia. The Corporations Act 2001 and the Australian Securities and Exchange listing rules form the basis for regulating securities already outstanding. Okay. Companies that want to list on the stock exchanges, they also have to comply with the listing regulations of the respective Securities and Exchange Commission or respective stock exchanges. Look that a series of steps is involved when a firm issues securities to the public. In general, simplified term, the basic procedures are covered in the following 5 points. So first of all is the management's first step in issuing any securities to the public is to obtain approval from the board of directors. In some cases, the number of authorized shares that can be issued must be increased. This requires a vote from the current shareholders. Secondly, management obtains expert opinions on a range of matters, including advice on the level of expected support for the issue, financing options, possible pricing, and marketing strategy. The third one is that the management of the issuing firm will then appoint a lead manager who will formalize the structure of the issue, prepare a timetable and a prospectus, and determine the pricing. The underwriter, when appointed, undertakes to market and sell the issue, and at the end of the selling period to buy any unsold securities in accordance with previously agreed terms and conditions. The lead manager and the underwriter charge a fee for this service. We will discuss this point more details in the next video. Then the next point is the firm issuing the securities must prepare a disclosure document named prospectus, which is filed with the ASIC, Australian Securities and Exchange Commission, or the NZSC, New Zealand Securities and Exchange Commission. The time from when the prospectus is lodged until the time it is approved is called the registration period. With a few exceptions, a prospectus is required for all public issues of securities. The prospectus must also be registered with the Australian Securities and Exchange and New Zealand Exchange if a public listing is being sold in either country. Normally, the prospectus contains many pages of financial information, including a financial story, details of the existing business, with the qualifications of management and directors, and proposed financing and plans for the future. The point number 5 is that the regulatory authorities such as ASIC examines the prospectus to approve it. And once it is approved, the firm can advertise for investors to buy the securities. Okay, ASIC does not consider the economic merits of the proposed sale. It merely makes sure that various rules and regulations are followed. Also, the regulatory authorities do not generally check the accuracy or truthfulness of information in the prospectus. The prospectus may not contain the price of the new issue because many offers today adopt an open or indicative pricing approach, where only a possible price range is contained in the prospectus. And lastly, the company or underwriter cannot sell any securities during the registration period. Once the registration period is complete, the underwriter and firm actively promote the issue and receive offers from investors to buy securities. All offers to buy must be completed on the offer document contained in the prospectus. In the case of an indicated price rather than a fixed price, small investors will lodge applications to buy at the indicated price, which is usually at the upper end of the expected price range. The final price is determined by institutions bidding to buy the securities. The seller works out an average price, and this becomes the issue price. If the issue price is less than the price the small investors have paid, they will be sent refunds. So these are the basic steps or procedures involved of issuing securities to the public. Now, just a couple of related points. First of all is crowdfunding. Look, on 18 October 2018, ASIC issued guidance to companies and intermediaries of crowdfunding to comply with its regulation. Crowdfunding essentially is the practice of raising small amounts of capital from a large number of people, typically via the internet. The use of crowdfunding has grown rapidly over the past few years, which resulted in the Australian government enacted the Corporations Amendment of the Crowdsource Funding Act 2017 to help small businesses and protect investors using crowdfunding. The New Zealand government introduced its crowdfunding legislation already in 2014, and the United States in 2012. Specifically, the act in the United States allows a company to issue up to $5 million in securities in a 12-month period, and investors are permitted to invest up to $100,000 in crowdfunding issues over the same amount of time. In New Zealand, companies are limited to raising $2 million a year through the use of an internet-based intermediary platform, but there is no cap on investor amounts. The advantage of this crowdfunding legislation is that no prospectus is required. Crowdfunding was first used to underwrite the US tour of British rock band Marillion, some of you may know. Next, let's move to initial coin offering. In addition to sales of traditional debt and equity, a company can raise funds by selling tokens. These tokens often grant to the holder the right to use company services in future. For example, a company building a railroad may issue a token that can be used as a train ticket after the railroad is built. Token sales occur on digital currency platforms and can be easily transferred on the platform or converted to US dollars on a specified token exchanges. This liquidity has made tokens a popular means of funding since their introduction in 2015. Tokens are now purchased by both customers and investors who may never use the token for the service being offered. The initial sale of a token on a digital currency platform is often called an initial coin offering, ICO. Okay, so it sounds like IPO. Many startup companies are now choosing to raise funding through an ICO rather than the traditional venture capital channels. The most common platform for issuing new tokens is Ethereum, but there are many other competitors. Token sales are most popular among companies that are building services based on blockchain technology. This technology is at the heart of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Token sales also can serve as an effective marketing tool. This is especially true if the business benefits from network effects, as the potential for price appreciation in the tokens attracts new customers. Okay, the increase in customers increases the value of the services, which in turn increases the value of the tokens. So this is the end of this video, where we mostly talk about the steps of issuing new securities and two relatively new way of raising fund. One is crowdfunding and initial coin offering. So in the next video, we continue to discuss about raising funds with a particular emphasis on initial public. Thank you very much.